you don't really know what's going to happen.
We want to make sure that everyone can be chasing that American dream.
Sometimes the only way to succeed is just to not give up. Now they know the other side. All right, everybody. Welcome to the other side. We have a very, 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 very special guest today, Mr. Brandon Skinner.
Love it. That's tough.
All right, Brandon Skinner in the house, everybody. Welcome, sir.
Hey, great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Dude,
Appreciate
of
it,
course. You own a couple companies.
guys. Yes. I own a
Tell
few
us about
companies
'em.
Nowadays. So I own Riverside Payments. That's the main company I founded and started 10 years ago now. So it's our 10-year anniversary. So pretty exciting. with
Yeah,
that.
that's awesome.
Own a few other companies as well, kind of spiderwebbed their way out of Riverside. Cascade Equipment Leasing is another a company that's been pretty successful the last 3 years since COVID. So those are the main two, and then I have a bunch of partner companies kind of franchised off the Riverside model. So
Very
yeah,
cool, man.
alive and
Awesome.
kicking.
Well, we're excited to talk to you
Never a
today.
dull moment.
What's that?
Great to be here. Never a dull moment.
No, it's never a dull moment. And we've known each other for probably that whole 10 years, I would think.
I would say so, yeah. About probably 7-8 years now, I would say, yeah.
Yeah, it's been a minute. Mike, about the same, I'd imagine.
Yeah, seven years. I met you at a networking group. It's back in the day when you go
right.
to those things and promote your
Yeah, back when you used to be
Yeah.
one of the normal people. But when you were a peasant, and now you're a lord, and your wife's a lady, and now you don't hang out with the peasants anymore, huh? Is that the way that it goes?
I don't know about that.
He's like, if you want to see me, I'll be at the Blazers game. It'd be great. No, okay. Well, we've got some cool stuff for you today. One is we found out that you have a secret admirer.
Oh, yeah? Is that so?
That is very much so.
Okay.
And we're wondering if you could take a guess at who it is before we even start. Do you know who your secret admirer is?
I would say Mike Ross.
That's
First
no
of all,
secret, sir. That is
hey,
no secret.
listen, hold on a second. That's my boo, okay? You can't be getting on my territory on my podcast. Okay, no, you have a secret admirer. They are wild about you.
Okay.
It's honestly a little uncomfortable how wild they are about you.
Okay.
Would you like to know who it is?
Let's hear it.
It's ChatGPT.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I wanted to read you a couple things that ChatGPT thinks about you and Riverside Payments.
Oh, boy.
And I'm going to see what your response is to this incredible being.
It's pretty impressive, actually.
It is very, very impressive. All right. Riverside Payments, led by CEO Brandon Skinner. That's you right there. Has gained a strong reputation not only for its rapid growth, but also for its commitment to building a positive and inclusive company culture.
That's right.
You agree with that so far?
100%.
Okay, let's see how much more you agree. Strong company values with a focus on employees. Brandon Skinner has fostered a work environment centered around key values such as community, simplicity, customer focus, empowerment, and excellence.
That's right. So far, so good.
Goodness gracious. Riverside Payments has been consistently praised for its people-first initiatives, which has led the company to stand out in the competitive merchant services industry. Employee satisfaction and empowerment are at the core of the company's success, and it has won several awards in this area, including a Comparably's Best Company for Perks and Benefits and Happiest Employees. You've got another one from, was it USA Today? Top
right.
24 places to work in the whole freaking country, dude.
That's right.
My God, dude.
proud about
The
that.
crazy thing is you thought I did all this work. There's pages and pages of how this thing feels about you. It's
I've
incredible.
been paying it. I like it.
Dude, that's what
Funny
I'm
best friend.
saying, man. The first thing I did, the first thing Mike did when I was like,
Yeah.
hey, dude, you got to see what ChatGPT thinks about Brandon. He's like, well, what does it think about us?
It got real detailed on exactly what's all about what you're all about. So it was interesting to
Yeah.
see that.
Yeah, it was
Very proud.
crazy.
I've actually never done that.
Even
That's pretty cool.
even like the cyberspace is like, these guys are amazing. This guy's doing a great job. And I even asked that question about origin story and all kinds of stuff. It talks about you starting in your grandmother's house.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
wow.
on
That's pretty
ChatGPT
crazy.
from some article in 2017 that was written about you guys.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool.
The internet's crazy.
Yeah, Google's no more. It's all about ChatGPT.
Yeah. no,
Goodness
I gotta
gracious.
keep up with the times. I keep hearing all about it.
Dude,
but-
Google is obsolete. I just asked it a few questions and I learned all kinds of things. It was crazy.
Yeah.
That's cool stuff, huh?
Yeah, that's pretty incredible. I ain't going to lie.
So you have a very good secret admirer. It's called the internet. Thinks you're
The
amazing.
internet thing.
Okay.
There we go.
So-
You never know which way it's going to go on the internet these days.
That's what the lawyers are.
No, I taught my kids that the other day. So a buddy, my son was asking about something on the internet, and we were joking about how everything on the internet's obviously true. And so I was like, dude, watch this. So what I did was I did a search that said the top 10 reasons coffee is horrible for you. And it came out like all these articles. And then right after the top 10 reasons coffee is healthy for you. And they got all these articles. For whatever you're looking for, you're going to find it. That's just the way it goes. But ChatGPT doesn't lie.
No,
That's
because they
true.
also sourced everything on there too. Exactly. where
Yeah,
they
it's
the
got,
information.
I got sources.
Look at that.
Source?
I knew the notes were too good to be true.
Yeah, 100%. They were 100% too good to be true. I told you, I was like, it looks like I did a lot of work, but I really didn't do a lot
There's
of
a
work.
lot of copy paste.
That's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Well, I did also have to hit print.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
So
Three
that
buttons,
does better.
3 buttons max.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, so our podcast, The Other Side, clearly about like, these are all amazing. Like these accolades are incredible. Like we could go probably another 10, 15, 20 minutes on just the awards that you guys have won locally and nationally. Like it's just incredible. But the podcast is called The Other Side because it's like, what's behind all the accolades? Like how did we fucking even get here? Yeah. So like what we would really like to talk about is just like how you got started. Tell us about like the origin story of Riverside Payments and like how did you build this empire? How did you guys do it?
Yeah, absolutely. So 10 years ago, I owned another company before Riverside Payments called Expect Payment Solutions. So owned that for 7 years. Things were going really good. We did a couple $1 million in revenue annually with the company. And I just knew we weren't really going the right direction. We were very small. We were very well known here locally in the area. But I saw this as my opportunity to really swing for the fences and make a name for myself, right? Like this was my one shot, right? You know, Eminem, I was like, hey, I'm gonna go for it, right?
Yeah.
So it was just going through it. So I came up with the idea of how to grow nationally. And my business partner at the time, a great individual, and ended up, he didn't want to take that shot. He wanted to keep it, he's a little bit older, so he wanted to keep it more small, more low key, which totally respect that 100%. But I wanted to swing for the fences. So came to him with a couple of proposals, couple offers. And he basically wasn't about it. He's like, no, we're gonna stay with this, or we need to go our separate ways. So I was like, all right, well, buy me out. So that's kind of where we were at that. And I just got done having a baby. My grandpa just passed. So it was kind of a rough time to make that decision. But you mentioned my wife earlier. She was very supportive, and she's like, babe, you're obsessed with it. You love what you do. You love helping people. You love helping people make money. Just go for it, and we'll figure it out. So ended up going through the process, ended up getting bought out, and that's a whole nother story we'll do off air. I'll fill you in a bit. Can't really go into specifics on that one, but
It's a gag order.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's like,
that's a
I'll be arrested in 19 states.
But anyway, did that, got bought out, and then my good friend Jason Reese, who worked for us at the time, longtime hockey buddy who I've known forever and a half. He's a really good numbers guy, great credit, everything like that. Kind of the opposite of me at the time.
White, great credit.
Check.
Checked all the boxes.
I'm 0 for 2 on you.
So I was like, hey, let's do this. And he's like, all right, man. Yeah, I trust your vision. I trust what you're going to do. And he's just kind of really let me have my free reign to kind of swing for the fences. And he's been there every step of the way. So much respect and love for Jason. He's been a great business partner throughout it. But yeah, so at that moment, we literally started at my grandma's house, and then we got a house that I believe Jason's dad's brother owned at the time, and that was our marketing call center, and we called it the crack house because literally first day we roll up and literally there's like a drug deal going down outside the house. It's right off the Max line.
Like, wait, is that one of our employees?
Probably was. I was like, hey, we should hire him. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I mean, it had red shag carpet and everything. So I'm gonna speed forward just a second because it's a funny story with that. But I remember I was so excited. I bought my first pair of Louis Vuitton moccasins. They were red. It was my favorite color. I walk in to show Jason and a couple of our employees in the office, and it literally matched the shag
Exactly.
carpet to a T. You couldn't even see my feet. So
He's
it
floating.
was, yeah, exactly. So
Dude,
it
there's nothing like a humbling experience to just bring you back to earth where you're like so pumped. You're like, I bought the same thing I've been staring at for years.
Exactly. I'm not going to lie. I kind of went in the office and cried a little bit. I'm like, why did I do this? Why am I here? Why am I in this office? I should have just stayed with what I had before. But,
that's
hindsight's 20/20,
awesome.
right? So
Dude, so you guys started with how many people?
it was just me, Jason, and my good friend Nick Clay.
Nick Clay.
Yep.
Didn't I just lose $100 to Nick?
You did. You
Or
did.
because
Oh, no,
of
you
Nick?
lost to me.
To you
Yep,
because of Nick.
Exactly.
What a
So
jerk.
the bets we make at Blazers games.
The
right?
bets we made at Blazer game, and if we set reminders, the thing was to figure out if Nick was still going to be in a relationship at a certain amount of time, and I lost.
He sure is.
He sure is. He's
for you,
sticking
Nick.
with it. Obviously,
Yeah,
he's good
exactly. Good for you,
relationships.
Nick.
He's stuck with you for 10 years.
I know, that's true. That's true.
It's been a rather abusive relationship for Nick.
A little bit. I kind of fly off the handle at times, but he handles it well.
So the three of you start
Yep.
where?
We literally start at my grandma's house. My wife was making calls. That lasted about a day. We had scripts and rebuttals printed out that we actually typed. ChatGPT didn't do it. And
This is not my fault.
and then she just, anytime there was any rebuttal, she just wasn't her thing, right? So she ended up keying deals for us. So we'd sign an account. She'd board the account. Did great with that. We did that together while taking care of the kids and all of that. So pretty amazing to have her be a part of it and have her help with the whole process. And then Nick would handle the deals. He'd go out in the field and do some sales as well. But it was basically knocking doors. So we just from 7 in the morning to 6, 7 at night, we'd be knocking doors. Got the revenue, all self-funded. We took no money in to get Riverside
Wow.
started and just hustled. Then we recruited my brother on. And when we recruited my brother, he recruited all of his friends from Chipotle. And we literally did our training classes at Jorge's Margarita Factory, which is one of
Run
our
into you a
clients.
couple times there.
Yep,
Dude.
exactly. So
I
over on
forgot
Milk
that
Plate, we
I-
rented the back room, everything.
Yeah.
We do like a training thing, and we take half the team, and we go, hey, you go on the left side of the street, you go to the right side, and then Jason and I would run in if someone wanted to do a quote. So, that's basically kind of how we started, and we built a little sales team just
my
off of that
gosh.
right there. So
That's insane.
It wasn't even organized chaos. It was just chaos, wasn't it?
yeah, it was chaos. I'm pretty hyper organized
Yeah.
in my own way. So like everything was like planned out by like the hour, everything that we were gonna do.
Yeah.
I'm a big systems guy, so like we had the sales system that was developed from here's what you say when you're knocking doors, here's what you say through the presentation, here's the questionnaire, the questions you ask the merchant once they're interested, here's how you read the statement, here's the closing pitch, here's the paperwork pitch. So it was very hyper organized, I would say.
Yeah.
A lot of chaos going on like after you sign the deal because we didn't have that part fully figured out. But like the onboarding.
Well, first
and
things
signing
first, right?
out- Yeah, exactly. Get the money in and then you can figure the rest out. It's
Yep.
kind of
Yeah.
always been the mantra.
Yeah. Mike and I were talking earlier. We're like, man, we remember watching Brandon like in person, like live, like hustling deals. Like I remember watching you at like coffee shops and stuff.
Yep.
And like you had that little Maserati, that little 2-seater.
Yep,
and
exactly.
Yeah, the little Maserati. And just grinding. Like you were everywhere.
That's what you got to do at the beginning. You got to grind. You got to be everywhere. So I did like a whole, I think it was 2 years of just saying yes to like every networking thing, just getting out there. That's obviously where I met you guys. And it was just about, hey, yes to any opportunity. So, and when you do that and you just make the time and you figure it out, obviously you need a supportive partner at home to make it work. Yeah.
Like, I'll go with it. You're close enough.
But I mean, that's just it. You gotta put in the work. I mean, that was always my goal. I knew I wasn't the smartest in the room, but I knew I could figure it out and be the hardest worker in the room. So that's what I tried to live by, and just how do we get 1% better every day? So
When you first started it, and you said you got your brother recruited people from Chipotle, did you even care who they were? Did you just like, it's another body, another door, another sale? Like, is that what you thought?
Yeah, that was the mentality. Pretty much anybody and everybody. Let's just throw the net out there. Anybody who wants an opportunity to go out there and hustle, make money, because I didn't have the schooling. I come from nothing, so I was not about to shut that opportunity down for anyone. And our company is known for being the king of second chances, third chances, fourth chances. So, I mean, we never say no to the opportunity if they're willing to go out there. Obviously, willing to go out there and do the right things the right way is really the only rule that we have. Come in and be who you are. We're very inclusive, as you've heard, and just be you and follow the system, and you'll make money. That's the key.
So how did you come up with like this company culture? Is it something that you had in your heart and your spirit that you knew you wanted to create, or is it something that developed over time?
It's something that I kind of always had an idea of or really thought about. Like Wolf of Wall Street obviously is an incredible movie. It's also a great story about what not to do and how to make success the right way, not the wrong way, right?
Well, that's kind of funny because Mike called you the Wolf of Wall Street of Vancouver.
Essentially, the right way. I mean, we kind of taken that philosophy
Yeah.
and that mindset of giving everybody that opportunity that comes from all walks of life.
Yeah.
But again, making sure that we're taking care of our clients, taking care of our people, and it's a win-win opportunity with what we do. So we're saving business owners money while making money at the same time. And that's just, I mean, it's incredible. And as far as the culture goes, I played hockey growing up, and I always just loved that team atmosphere. So I always wanted to, hey, you know, let's be as a team, like, and always rooted in the sports mindset and mentality of together we can get through anything. Let's go to war together. Let's figure it out. We're going to win today. We're going to win the deal. That's always one of our mantras. Win the deal, win the day. We're going to go out there and seize this opportunity because you only have one life. You got to make the most of it. So
Inspiring.
I, for one, my heart is getting warm. I was like, my God, Brandon, like, look into my eyes and say it again, just slower this time. My goodness.
I feel like I should give Mike some love over here.
No,
Yeah,
no,
100%.
you look at me at the right times. When it means the most.
Actually,
You looked at me the
I
whole
know we
time
have a
before.
connection.
Yeah. No, that's interesting because for us, it's like when we want to get motivated on our side, we have a lot of accountants, right? Personalities of accountants, personalities of bookkeepers. And it's just Nathan and I get motivated in different ways. And there's only one sales team, the greatest sales team of all time, actually. And then you're looking at them. So
Hey, there we go.
Just so you know.
I motivate
confidence.
Yeah, I motivate myself and I get myself all pumped up. But sometimes I miss that camaraderie of like trying to get other people motivated.
Yep.
And I can't get bookkeepers or accountants motivated the same way I get motivated.
Yep,
I like
that's
somebody
very true.
yelling in my face, me like, "Come on, get your shit together, get up
Yep.
every day, fucking grind."
Yeah,
Make this
dude.
happen. If I did that to any of my bookkeepers, they'd turn off the camera.
They would cry.
Yeah.
100%.
So how did you grow? How did you grow like the people who were not just salespeople? You had was that your business partners?
That was kind of more his forte. It's funny you mentioned that because the last year and a half we've been working on completely revamping ops. And like you said, that is a completely different animal, and motivations and the way people get inspired is completely different.
Yeah.
And it definitely is it's been one of the hardest years and a half for me because I more thrive in that sales atmosphere. And it's just hard to figure out a lot of times how to get that motivation. But I have a great team of people around me who will translate what I'm saying, number one. And then number two, be there to
That's
kind of
such a
help
good
pick up
word.
the pieces. And just kind of, you know, it's a good 1-2 punch that Jason and I have.
Yeah.
And then Michael Offit, he's our vice president of people and performance. And he's incredible with translating B into reality for a lot of the ops people in the organization.
I got a question for you. Okay. What is a time where you tried to motivate or inspire somebody and it did not go well?
That is a great question. Again, kind of like the salespeople, it was probably one of my first times trying to really inspire the ops team. It's kind of, you know, you do the F-bombs, you get hyped, you scream, you shout, you play the video, super easy to do. Everyone, you know, we have a company cheer that we do and everything like that. Everyone gets super hyped. Ops looks at me like I'm crazy. And I'm like, oh, that did not land at all. So that's definitely one. And then I would say another one was... there's just certain moments where you have.
I thought you were gonna say poems.
No, definitely not a poem guy.
was like-
not a poem, not a rapper. I hear you're a good rapper though, right?
No, not at all. No, we've discussed this. This is something that early on I realized that I'm never gonna be good at.
Yeah.
We've accepted it.
Yeah, it's
Those are in the bloopers.
largely due to my melanin or lack thereof.
But another thing that we a lot of times we'll do is obviously we're about systems in the team, and if somebody goes against the team or the system, you know, sometimes you have to make a statement and someone gets terminated or something to that effect. One other time was trying to make that statement and terminate someone by having someone's back, and just it just didn't go well as planned on the ops side. Sales side, it kind of brings people together. Again, ops side is a little different environment. So that's something that I kind of learned to when to do certain things and when not to, especially getting bigger. You know, there's a time and a place for everything. So
Yeah, and the impact gets bigger too.
yep,
Yeah.
The ripple effects are bigger.
that is
The more and more
very
layers
true.
you get. 'Cause
Yep.
You guys started like in you know, obviously with just 3 people, and you're now how many employees
We have about 200 employees ish, and then
and
another,
subcontractors?
Another 500 subcontractors across.
So 700 total.
Yep, 700 total.
Yes, you went from 3 to 700 in 10 years.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Fuck, dude.
It's pretty wild. That's
Dude,
for sure.
that is
everything I
so
kind of dreamed
crazy.
of, and it's crazy seeing it come together. That's
That's
for sure.
amazing.
But you don't do any of the hiring outside of the salespeople, or do you do any of the salespeople
No.
hiring, or do you have teams obviously that do that now? Or
Oh, yeah, I have teams that do that now. Yeah, so I don't do any of that at all. It's kind of more overseeing kind of the really high level division, and then this past year and a half really going in and developing the systems within the operations side of the business, because 2 years ago, we literally doubled in size again, and it broke everything ops wise from like how we deploy the deal.
Yes.
So we had to rebuild it literally from scratch.
Wow.
So it's been a long year and a half for sure, trying to figure that out because that's much harder. And like we literally stopped trying to grow. It's just been organic growth because we're so focused on getting the service levels back up because I mean, we went from signing 100 accounts a month to 400 or 500 and then being able to scale it with doing the different partner companies and different entities that we work with now has been a real challenge, and you had to do it a different way to really make it work. So that's kind of what we've been really focused on, and it's been like I said, a year and a half project, and we're still probably 6 months left before completed.
Yeah.
What do you do to like re-humble yourself sometimes? You know, like I guess like because in my head you get to a certain.
He's
point.
like, I go on my buddy's podcast.
Yeah. He's like, that's why I remind myself. Yes. No. Is there a way, or do you like find a way to kind of just like how do you soak it all in? And because my problem, I guess, from our perspective of growing the business is sometimes if I take too much time to appreciate where I've come from, I guess like I kind of get complacent almost to an extent.
Yeah.
Or I feel like I'm slowing down, or it's like never stop. Right. Just keep going. So how do you take time to just kind of appreciate where you've come from? And I guess maybe not humbling yourself, but really take time to appreciate where you've come from.
Yeah, I would say my kids, my family, 100%. Like, I think there's two sides of me. Like, a lot of people see the money side and like the flash, the crazy, the fun, and all the fun stuff I do. But I'm actually normally just a quiet introvert kid. Like growing up, I was super shy, super quiet. And I just find my true happiness just hanging out with my kids. Like this weekend, my wife and oldest daughter went to Tennessee to visit her brother. So it was just me and my little one, and we did basketball game. We went to the Blazers game. We went to the Winterhawks game. We did her basketball game, and it was just her and I hanging out. I didn't really message anybody back on my phone. I just kind of kept it super low key and kept the phone away, and it was just incredible, right? So, and it was also super cool because she's been to the Blazers games and stuff now, and just listening to her kind of brag about me was kind of cool because we lock in a new deal. We're getting ready to post.
That's on our list. We're definitely gonna talk about that.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
We'll get to that in a minute. But she was just talking to the people sitting next to us at the Blazers game, like, oh, you know, the courtside lounge is gonna be the Riverside Lounge, and my daddy owns it. And just listening to her kind of brag was super cool for sure in that moment. So I would say, how do I humble myself? Just hang out with my kids and just be who I really am, and just turn off the be money side.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I definitely hang out. When I hang out with my kid, I feel the same way. Everything just kind of goes away, and you remember what you're doing, why you're doing everything for it. So
exactly,
that's super cool.
We have a saying around here that we talk about a lot. We say, a priority is only a priority if it changes what you do. And one of the things, I think I've messaged you about this a few times. One of the things I love about being friends with you and just watching you in your journey is just how much you prioritize your children and your family. Like, you could take anybody to those games and get all kinds of accolades or pats on the back. Instead, you take your daughter, and there's no compliment any other human being could give you like your daughter talking good about you to the people sitting next to you.
Yeah.
That's gotta be just the fucking best.
Literally, I got a little emotional about it.
Hell yeah,
I'm not an
awesome.
emotional guy really at all. I kind of shut my feelings off pretty good, but it was a pretty cool moment. Like just listening to her brag to some random stranger, and she was just chatting everyone out, just loving the moment, and just seeing how happy it makes her. Like that's like true happiness in my opinion. Being able to give those opportunities to her and just see her that happy. I mean, it's pretty special.
So let's talk about what's happening with the Blazers.
Yeah, absolutely.
So walk us through. I don't want to know the end result yet. I want to know, like, walk me through the last few years of how you got here, because you've been building a relationship with the Blazers. Yeah,
it's something that I've been building on for a moment. Obviously, been doing the courtside games. I'm a big people person, just talking to people that I sit next to. So developed some good opportunities. I was fortunate enough to have Chauncey come out. Chauncey Billups.
That was awesome.
So did a little thing for our team. It was actually a year ago yesterday. He came out, and super incredible guy. He spent more time than he needed to there. Treated everybody. He welcomed everyone with open arms. Asked for more questions. Just his approach and his leadership style has been really cool to watch with him and the Blazers. Sitting close to him and whatnot, watching him coach has been pretty incredible. So it was a pretty special moment to have him out there. I watched him as a kid too. So, and obviously he just
back in Detroit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it was pretty cool, obviously, watching him too just get inducted into the Hall of Fame officially, finally. So Big props to him again there. But it's been pretty cool. And then with that opportunity, we've been talking to a lot of the Blazers reps on getting tickets, doing different suites nights. One of the big things we do is a lot of company events and team events. obviously you spend more time, a lot of time with your coworkers and at work than you do at home. So we want to make it that fun environment. So we do a lot of cool, fun concerts, Blazers games, hockey games, all that. So in talking to them, I was like, hey, if there's ever an opportunity, to do a sponsorship or do processing, anything like that, let me know. So it was like, hey, funny story. We're actually going through that now. So just asked, closed mouth don't get fed, right? So I just shot my shot. And
Closed mouths don't get fed.
Can we write that down?
Yeah, exactly.
That's a perfect reel right there.
Yeah. My
Closed mouths don't get fed.
So yeah, he just teed it up and then just started talking with him for, it was about a year, I would say, 6 months to a year. And then they're like, hey, we have this opportunity with the Courtside Lounge and would you guys be interested? And we're like,
cool.
Absolutely. So
now you got the Riverside Burger.
Yeah, we got the Riverside Burger. It's going to be the Riverside Club is going to be the official name of it. So we're going through all of that. Nice thing with the Riverside Burger too is $5 of every burger gets donated to the Blazers Foundation.
Wonderful.
So it's pretty cool. We're all about giving back to the local
You guys do a ton.
community.
Don't you guys do like Susan G? You guys do Movember. You guys
Yep.
do a few other things too, don't you?
Yeah, Movember was the first one we did. As I mentioned, when we started Riverside, my
Yeah.
grandpa passed the prostate cancer.
Yeah.
So men's health is something that has always kind of struck true to me, and obviously something wanted to bring awareness to. So we started with Movember, and then obviously got 3 daughters. And then my wife. So it's like, hey, we got to do something with women's health. So Susan G. Komen came about, and it's actually funny how that came about because with Susan G. Komen, we did a viral video. We did the Juju on the beat and then the mannequin challenge. It was like, hey, let's do this video.
Yeah, I remember those.
We caught the waves like where everyone froze in the
Yeah.
music video, right? So we kind of mashed the two together and it just happened to be in October. So we're like, hey, however many views or whatever, we're going to donate a portion to Susan G. Komen. So the CEO of the local chapter came out, was a part of the video. We did all that. And then we got like over 100,000 views and just kind of took off. And he's like, hey, you should be on the board. We want to try and connect with the younger audience. And, we'd love to have you. So long story short, ended up being on the board for 3 or 4 years. That was a pretty humbling and cool experience to be able to be a part or have them want me to be a part of their organization even. It's a huge, well-known organization. So
Yeah.
it was cool to be able to give my time back along with the money. And then, it was just really cool to be able to be a part.
And you finally have something worthwhile on your resume, and that's awesome.
Yeah, I know, right?
What a good resume builder that is. Some volunteer work. Oh my God. Okay, take us back for a second. Okay, these are awesome. The stuff that's going on is so cool. There was probably a time where you're like, I don't know if we're going to make payroll. I'm not sure what's going to go on. Walk us through some of the early years where you're like, shit, dude, I don't know like what's going to happen next week.
Yeah.
Tell us some of those moments and kind of what you and Jason did to get through those.
I mean, in the beginning, it was a lot, like you said, during the first 6 months. And I think it was just a matter of getting out there and hustling and grinding. It's like, hey, we need X amount of deals to be able to make it. And we just figured it out. Just went out and we knocked doors. We rallied the team to knock doors. And we just always found a way. And I think, it wasn't even in the beginning. There's been times like 6 months ago, a year ago, like there'll be like, it's up and down in business, right? Especially again, when you're not taking out money from investors and stuff like that. When you hit the rapid growth that we're hitting, it's pretty much stressful 24/7 because you're growing, but then the expenses grow, and it takes time to get the deals out the door.
And the expenses don't grow in proportion to the income. The expenses grow at a higher clip than the income at first.
They can, yes, absolutely. And then,
almost always, it seems like. It's very rare for the income to outpace the additional cost of growing.
Yep, that's very true. So that's a big part of it. And then I would say just different speed bumps throughout the years of doing it. From COVID, obviously, that was a crazy time because we were all outside sales. We had to pivot and go all inside sales. And then we shifted, and once certain states opened back up, we moved all our sales reps down for like a month or two down to the open states that were open for business. And then we had the others.
No way.
Yeah, nice. And then we had the others.
Okay, so here's what I want. So this is the other side, right? We want to hear the other side. Okay, That's a very cool decision. Let's just use the decision of the states are opening up and we're going to move people.
Yep.
Walk us through what the conversations were like to make that decision. What were the different points of view? What did different people think and feel?
Yeah.
And then how did you come up with the idea to let's just move our sales staff to where they can sell shit?
Really, it was just us there in the office. I'd say it was the main management group in the office. and we would order food and drinks to the office. So I think it was literally
Talk about
It was
inclusivity.
just-
Even the alcoholics.
yeah, exactly. Everyone gets some love. So, I mean, we were just one day bashing our heads against the wall. Like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? And we just were having some shots, having some drinks. And it was like, well, hey, obviously we need to do inside sales. Let's use Zoom. Let's get everyone in a Zoom room. And it was just everybody spitball ideas, throw everything at the wall, and let's see what sticks. And then we had the idea. So that was kind of where we pivoted to all inside sales. It's like, hey, let's get them in a Zoom room. Let's call through all of our old quotes. Let's,
Whatever's already in the system. Let's try to get
whatever in
through.
there. Let's go back. Anybody that's a current client, hey, you need online ordering. Let's upsell you. Let's do this. Hey, you need new equipment on this, and then we'll get you a little bit lower rate to offset it. So like we went through our existing base. We went through all the old quotes. They were calling them, and then I would follow up with the email like, hey, here's an extra discount. Hey, here's an extra discount. I was even emailing.
Getting back in the trenches.
Yeah, exactly. Just rolling up my sleeves with the team. And we literally were in a room, kind of like this, where it was just open bullpen. And we were all just, any idea, there's one that they're battling on, I'd go take over the call and try and close the deal. So it was, we were just fighting for our lives, right? And one of the hardest moments during COVID for me was when we had to let a bunch of people go. Thankfully, it only was for about a week because then the PPP stuff started coming through and I was able to call them back. But like people that I would never have wanted to let go ever. But it's like, we can't pay you. Like you're going to end up, you have a better opportunity with the loans and stuff they're giving out. Just go beyond that. Obviously when we can, we'll bring you back. Those were some emotional calls having to do for sure.
So how do you and Jason get together and make a decision like that? Where you're like, hey, we're going to have to let these people go. Like, how do you guys talk through that? What's the conversation like?
A lot of times, we just kind of bounce ideas back and forth. But then a lot of times he just kind of lets me do me with it. And then he's like, no, that's stupid. Let's not do that. Or, he kind of lets me make those decisions a lot of times. So, and that's one of the things that I love about him is the trust that we have.
Yeah.
Is
Do you guys both have like veto power?
Yeah, we both can veto something if we want to.
Yeah.
We usually never.
Mine kind of the same way that way. We're like, if one of us has a really strong opinion, it typically is the one that wins. Because it's just like, if we just don't make a big deal out of shit that's not a big deal.
Yep.
But if like, dude, I really think that this is something we need to do or not do, or how we should do it. I think we typically...
Yeah, we play to our strengths, right? So like usually on emotional decisions, usually I'll get the veto on that aspect, like hiring or, bringing on a new client or something like that. But then when it comes to the numbers or analytical stuff, I definitely trust him more than myself.
Yep.
So that's how we've done it, at least when it comes to the hiring and the firing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Mike's helped me a lot too. Like he'll be like, dude, I did like, let's say like an employee issue. Mike will really help me on like how to approach those. Because that's to me is something that I can get a little bit more like you. I can kind of like just shut the emotions off and just kind of be stale. Yeah. And it just it's not a very human experience.
Yeah.
It's definitely something that I've had to get better and still need to get better at for sure.
Yeah.
Is that similar for you and Jason?
Yeah, that's something that Jason does really well. I'm more go, 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 go. I'm like so mission orientated. I have to remind myself to like have fun and like be and have that human element. And I have my moments where I'll come in and I'll just, mess with everyone, make everyone laugh in the office. But with the people
with
side
your red
of,
shoes.
Yeah, exactly. But with the people in the office, that's something that he does really well as far as like the coaching opportunities or when I get frustrated and can't articulate it clearly. Him and Michael do a great job of
translating
B.
That's so good. I love that.
Breaking it down to where it makes sense and it's nice. And it's not just me being an ass kind of a thing. So.
I tend to have like these major ADHD moments where I'll just start talking and I'm like midway through thought. And my girlfriend has a phrase. Whenever I do that, she just says, "Show your work."
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, dude. Sometimes like how we get there, like matters. Like for me, it's like I start in the middle of a thought. Other people, it's like, hey, listen, you need to approach it this way. And you're like, oh yeah, I didn't think through that.
Yep.
I would never think through that. So like that's one of the major pros of like having a business partner, right? Is like you just get another set of eyes that you really trust on the same situation.
Exactly.
What are the cons?
The cons, obviously, it's, we're both type A people, both have that we want it our way kind of personality. But I mean, I've had a lot of other partners with the other businesses now. So I think I have a much greater appreciation for Jason and our relationship just because of all the trust, everything we've been through, and a lot of the other people that we're partners with now. There's a handful of them that it's like, man, what am I doing here? Why are we even partnered? This doesn't make any sense.
Do you feel like that's because you didn't go through like the mud with them?
Exactly, 100%.
Oh, interesting.
It's like, hey, we want to do things your way. We trust you. We want to be Riverside, but I don't want to listen to what you say. Or I'll do like 80% of what you want, and then the other 20 I'm not going to do. Well, then why am I wasting my time? Like you literally signed up for a program to be able to follow the Riverside way, but you want to deviate from the way.
Damn.
Like
that sounds like the foundation.
It is.
Yeah, the founder, whatever, the McDonald's thing, that movie, what is it called?
The founder.
Oh, yeah.
Right, where he had this vision, he wanted to take it, and he just got a bunch of people who had money to open up these franchises, and they didn't want to do it his way. They're just like, no, I got the name, I can do whatever I want.
Yep.
He's like, no, I need those people who are just like willing to door knock and work their ass off from the bottom.
Exactly.
Right, so that's why I hired that guy who like knocked on his door trying to sell encyclopedias. You remember that?
Yeah.
In that part of the movie, he hired the guy who was trying to sell him an encyclopedia. He's like, I see your grit, I see your drive. Like, why are you doing it? He's like, I have a family to feed and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And he brought him in to open up a franchise at McDonald's, and he was his best franchise owner out of all the people who had like a bunch of money just trying to get an extra dollar.
Yeah.
So
I actually haven't seen that movie. We actually have the McDonald's philosophy of make it so easy a 16-year-old that can't speak English can do it is like one of our mantras. So I actually got to check that movie out.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
surprised
really
I haven't
good.
seen it yet.
Yeah, I'm surprised too. I thought you've seen all sales movies.
No, I try to
Just
watch
Wolf of
all
Wall
of
Street?
them, but no, I've seen a lot. That is a good one though.
Yeah.
Gotta check that one out. Adding it to the list.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it either.
Really?
No.
The first time I've ever seen a movie that somebody else in the business world has not seen. Well done.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Mike.
Thank you. I'll take that one.
Let's go.
Well, I'm done.
You guys can finish up.
Yeah, I did my part. I know more than all of you guys, so I'm out of here. Yeah.
What were some of the key pivotal points for Riverside? Like maybe 3 or 4 that you're like, this decision that we made really made a big difference in the trajectory of our business.
Oh, that's a great question. I would say the most recent one was the partner program, I would say. And that's basically we've essentially franchised out Riverside. But it's everyone has their own name. It's their own business up underneath it. And they get to use the sales systems and resources. That's the latest one that really helped us double up on the deal count and the growth.
Why did you do it?
Because I wanted to have it. I don't want to be the only one just making money, right? So the concept came from the top managers that have been working with us forever. We're basically capped out. So what's the next step from them? And I saw what Dutch Brothers was doing, where you go and you work for Dutch Brothers for 2-3 years.
Yep. Then you can buy in,
and you can open up your own stores. And I was like, that's awesome. That's the team mentality. I want to be sitting there with my team at the top, right? So those managers that have been grinding with us forever, let's give them that opportunity. Let's let them, open up their own franchise essentially and do that. So that's kind of where the concept came from. And it's been a huge success. And again, we've got a line of 20, 30 people that have been wanting to do it. We've pumped the brakes on it the past year and a half because we've been trying to fix the ops. And really, we kind of, again, with all the growth, our customer service started to slip quite a bit. So that's been the forefront because if you're not doing it the right way and taking care of your clients, it ain't worth it, in my opinion. So that's what we've been focused about is this year has all been about stabilization for the future. That's like been our big mantra that we've been focused on. So that was the big last, real big turning point. And I can see it like as soon as we open up that valve again and we're ready to scale it, we could have 20, 30, 40 new companies open up.
Yeah, Mike and I say like, listen, if you have a 16-ounce cup, you could put that thing under a faucet for 3 days and you're never going to get more than 16 ounces in the cup.
Yep.
It's never going to happen.
True.
So if you don't go get a bigger fucking cup.
Yeah. Exactly.
It makes no difference how much business you come in if you can't capture it.
Yep.
It makes no difference. You have to constantly build bigger and bigger cups basically to be able to handle just the flow of business.
Yep.
Exactly. Or else it's a whole lot of spinning your wheels and a lot of angry employees, angry clients. Like you said, customer satisfaction goes down. And in the short years that we've been doing it, we've experienced that too. Like there's always that tension of wanting to grow and get better, but always something slips, it seems like.
Yeah.
And Mike was even saying this morning, he's like, dude, all business partners have the same problems. It's just a different zero.
Yeah.
It's like you want to get good business, good marketing, good people in the door, good customer service. And if you want to grow, there's always that tension of like, something and it's stuff that you don't realize.
Oh, yeah.
Like for you said during COVID, it's like we realized we have no ability to function as an inside sales team. We've never tried to, we've never had to. Like, this is weird. And you're realizing, oh, well, the tension of experiencing this new environment and trying to grow means, oh, we have actually an inefficiency somewhere. We're not very flexible.
Yeah.
Like, we got to find another avenue here. So now if that ever happens again, you guys know what to do, how to do it, and you're more flexible, right? But like, you didn't know that you weren't flexible until the world ended.
Yeah, until you're backed into a corner. I mean, you just figure it out. I mean, I think our team, we're fighters. You know, we always, whatever comes our way, we're going to figure it out. Or like interest rates, right? A lot of the banks that we're partnered with or funded with, dropped out of the space. So we had to scramble and find new funding sources to finance equipment and everything like that. And that's kind of where Cascade Equipment Leasing came from. Was we kind of found a need of, hey, everybody needs this new technology and there's not a lot of options or sources. So we helped piece together multiple different banks and funding sources for financing this $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 POS systems for these business owners into a monthly payment. Nice thing with Cascade, you fill out a one-page form. We're a broker, and we bid it out to all the banks and get you the best deal that you can. So that started
what a great way to also really find another way to support and monetize your network.
Yep, absolutely.
That's awesome.
It's one of those things that we didn't plan on doing. It was just an opportunity that we saw, and we just went for it. And I think our 3-year growth rate was just over 5,000%. So it's definitely
where do I buy the stock, Brandon? Where do I buy the stock when you go in public? How do I buy in?
Yeah,
I want in.
Let's do it.
I want to give you some cash. Let's go. Yeah. That's crazy.
Do you like to go back into the sales force sometimes and just for fun and just show them what's going on, or is that something you do quite often, or?
Not as often as I'd like to anymore, but that's what I used to do all the time to just kind of get reinvigorated. Just go out there, lead the sales call, lead the conference call with the entire sales force in the mornings. That's always been something that's been really fun. I've kind of gotten away from it, and I actually probably need to go do that here sooner than later. It's
Lord Brandon. the peasants need
Bring
a visit.
Bring it back. Get them all hyped up.
Yeah, the peasants need a visit, bro. I remember coming to your office one time, and you were walking us through, I think it was your new space down by the river, and going into like the bullpen in the back. And bro, it was just a bunch of young people, like sardines in there. I guarantee you're breaking fire code in there without question.
No, we're just inside the.
Yeah, I bet you are.
For record.
He's like, well, what we do is we weigh everybody, and we just do an average body weight, and that should be sufficient.
It's exactly perfect.
Dude, it really was like an old school sales room, man. It was cool.
Yeah, because you open the door, and I remember that you open the door, and you can just hear.
You get like a wall of sound.
Yep.
It comes out. I don't know how people do that.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. It's an adjustment for a lot of people, but once they get adjusted, they love it. So, the salespeople love it. The ops people hate it, obviously.
Yeah,
for sure.
They like the quiet side. We have like the quiet side of the office, and then the sales side, which is pretty loud, and then the marketing bullpen, which is crazy loud. So
yeah,
but I mean, they're the backbone. That's where I started, was in a call center making 400 calls a day, setting appointments. So we show them a lot of love, and I think we're one of the best paying call centers in the area. So super proud of that, because without them, there is no us. So
true. So do you believe then, based on that statement, that salespeople can be made? They're not just born.
100%. I think certain people have that natural ability, like an athlete. Certain athletes are just born with it, but the great athletes are the ones that are born with it, that put in the work as well. So that's what I would say. I think I can turn anybody into an average salesperson if you follow the sales system and don't mess it up, or don't fuck it up, as we say, since we're swearing. That's the real me. That's
Thank you.
I mean, you will make money.
Translation: it'll be all right. Just work hard.
Exactly.
Translation: don't fuck it up.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't fuck up the sale. Yeah, dude. If it works, just do it.
Yeah, I mean, right.
Were you always feel like you're a sales manager, or is that something you grew into? Because I've definitely realized I'm not a sales manager. I'm just a really good salesperson, and I don't know how to train people as well as I thought I did. And that was a humbling experience for me getting into the business.
That is something that I did kind of on accident. So for me to become, because I don't think I was born a naturally good salesperson, because I'm naturally a shy, quiet kid. And so what I did is, when I was first knocking doors, is I would literally write down what worked and didn't work. And I would just always, how do I make it better? And then I would just start saying the same thing over and over and over, because it worked. And then, hey, it didn't work. I'm going to change this. Or I ran into this objection. How do I overcome it next time? So I just started writing all this shit down to like my own little blueprint, or my own little script that I was following. And then becoming and learning how to manage people is definitely a challenge, and it took me a minute to figure out. But the nice thing was I had the sales system, and I was like, hey, here's what I say. Just do this. It's working for me. It's going to work for you. I'm not naturally a good salesperson, so just read it. If I can do it, you can do it, right? And then it just started working, and then it just kind of evolved. And then one of the big things that we do with the sales system is we have a third-party close, because we have 500 people in the field, but we have 10 managers. So it's easier to control 10 people versus 500 people, as you can imagine. So all of our sales force out in the field has to call in. They have a script they read, but all the real meat and potatoes of the sales system and us building a quote to make sure the product we're putting out is quality is on the 10 sales managers. So they go through
That's the filter system.
Exactly.
That's the ultimate.
Yep.
Got it.
So for the sales reps, it's super, super easy. They literally go get a statement, ask these questions, do a 1-minute pitch, get the manager on the phone. They go through all the hard stuff. And then we have the floor manager above them that's listening to the calls. And if it's a tricky one, hey, here's how you do it. Or if it's a new manager that's listening to the call and training them how to do it. So we've kind of really, it's all about systems on, in my opinion, becoming a good manager. If you have the right system in place, you can coach them and train them. And then you know how to probably motivate and inspire people. So that part's probably easy for you. But getting the sale, if they're free forming it, they're never going to know how to say what you know how to say as good as you.
Correct.
So if you can get them to do 80% of what you can do,
it's a win.
And you get 10 people of them, you're how much better? You're the numbers guy. You tell me I can't do that.
Well, that's 800, so we're talking about 700% better.
Hey, there you go. Boom.
That's why we keep them
Or
around.
7x. I remember Michael Jordan saying once somebody asked him if he was ever going to become a coach. He's like, would you want to coach a team? He's like, absolutely not. And they're like, well, why? He goes, because I can't tell you why you're supposed to be at that place on the court. I just know that I'm supposed to be there.
Yeah.
He goes, but I don't know why. He goes, so he's like, I don't think through the tactical systems necessarily. He's just like, I just know instinctively that I need to be at that spot or make that jump or make that cut or make that pass. He's like, I don't think through that. So I don't know how, like Mike was saying, I don't know how to replicate that in somebody else, because he's like, I don't think through it. It just happens.
Yeah,
so maybe it's better that you suck at sales. Well, wait, no, that's not exactly what you said.
Right?
But it's pretty cool. But the point is like, but maybe it's better that you had to work on it.
Oh, yeah.
Because like you really got to like chisel out like what what really works.
Yep. Without that, there would be no Riverside, 100%.
Wow.
So, because again, I'm not naturally good at it, and I just developed something on accident and then saw the opportunity and then made the most of it.
But I want to know about that part. So again, going back to the other side part. So back when you said you're more introverted, not as extroverted, about to go door knocking. Everyone has it. Every salesperson has, I believe. What was your how did you get motivated? How did you pump yourself up? Did you have a power pose? Did you sing a song? Did you have a hype video you watched or a song you listened to?
Listen to Tony Robbins.
Yeah. Or what did you listen to, or what did you do before you went to go in there and just own the room?
I would say for me, it was probably Daddy Yankee Gasolina was definitely one of the hype songs back in the day. Dating myself a little bit. Soulja Boy, another classic. But I mean, for me, really, it was, I need to make money. This is the only way. I don't want to go back to a 9-to-5. I'm not going to fail. I'm going to prove people wrong. I was never good enough for hockey. I was never good enough for this, never good enough for that. So for me, it was all about proving people wrong. And when starting Riverside, proving my old business partner wrong, proving my dad wrong, proving all these people wrong has really been the thing that motivated me the most, more than anything. Songs definitely help. I'm a big song guy in the car and just cranking it up and having some fun.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I love that. I love that a lot. I love when people underestimate me and I'm like, watch me.
Yeah.
It motivates the hell out of me. I wish more people would come out there and just openly tell me how much they hate me.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
I know you're out there. Say it.
Yep.
Say it with the chest. Yeah, I'll be ready.
That's the way, man. Just proving people wrong. I think a lot of athletes and a lot of really successful people have gone through that.
Yeah.
Why do we like that so much?
I don't know. It's taking that anger or that self-doubt or your own stuff and channeling it the right way. And that's part of some people got it or know how to do that and other people don't. I don't really know how to teach that part. And I think as far as the manager piece too, one of the other things that kind of is really important with managing is kind of reading the room and knowing when there's a lull, when there's not. And that's one of the things that I developed over the years, like when we need that adrenaline shot, when we just need to let it go. You know, it's like a coach, right? Sometimes they go in there and they'll rip your head off. Sometimes they let the player do it. Sometimes they do this. That's another big part on the management.
Sometimes you just
side.
leave the players alone.
Yeah, exactly.
Like sometimes like, dude, they figure it out. And then sometimes you got to really get in their face. You're totally right.
Yep. And that's the thing that I've been trying to teach other managers to take over that role, because that was a role that I did forever. And that isn't something that you can like write down or script out. So that's been probably the hardest part. Or some people just have that ability to know how to do that and motivate someone in the right way at the right time. Other people just panic and they freak out, and then it just deflates the energy for the room, and then you have a bad sales day because of it. So that's something that I'm trying to still figure out on how to teach that part, on how to read the room and inspire the right way at the right time.
So how do you do, like, what are you working? Like, how are you trying to teach it?
Well, I got to get back in the sales floor to be able to fully do that. I'm still in ops land, so
No, ops land.
Yeah,
wish me
there
luck.
is
Hopefully I can get out of there sooner.
Yeah, like Mike was saying earlier, though, like talking about connecting with people, but there is a different leadership influence when you're doing it with people versus telling them how to do something.
Yep.
So like even being familiar, like not being so far removed from the problem that your input's no good.
Yep.
You know, we've seen that in lots of different companies. Our company's too small. We still have our hands in everything, you know. But as the company, but when you started, you had your hands in every single part of every single deal, probably.
Yep.
And there comes a point where like I don't even know 80% of the people who work with us anymore.
Yeah.
That's a chasm in 10 years.
Yep.
You know, and so like I think it's important and so impressive that you're like, yeah, we've done all this, but like I need to get back into the sales floor, back into the trenches, so I can like, it's really like almost like an empathy play where it's like I understand exactly what they're going through and also then know how to motivate properly, speak to current issues with current problems, because you can't speak to like current problems with like 8-year ago solutions. It doesn't work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had an intern here a couple months ago, and I remember like he was doing a couple calls, and he was really nervous, and I could just tell he's reading from the script, and I was like, all right, this is the moment, let's do it. I'm like, hey, let's just do calls together.
Yeah.
And I picked up the phone and I had no script. He's like, just fuck it, dude, just wing it, right?
And you
This is
ruined
what I do.
and he ruined the kid because you got to say on the first
I know, I
one with
didn't
no
get the-
script. And the guy's like, "How did you do that?" Mike's like, "I don't."
I literally said, I don't know, man. I'm just really good at this shit.
It ruined the whole thing. It would have been nice to see Mike fail, but first phone call gets
There
in
we
and
go.
closes the deal, and this poor kid's like, "What the fuck, dude?" Like, how did we
He's
do
already done like
that?
10 calls, and I'm doing the first one. Like, landed it.
This poor kid,
Shit.
man.
I was low-key thinking, I was like, okay, let's just like botch one up. That's why I didn't want to have a script on it.
Yeah.
I just wanted to see if I could just screw it up so he would see me fail.
Yeah.
But I can't.
He's basically
love it.
Jesus.
It was pretty
Got
funny.
the confidence, man. That's what's
Yeah.
up.
No, that carries you pretty far as that confidence, man. I'm telling
That's
you.
true.
It's like
And if you don't got it, fake it till you make it. So
Dude, 100%.
we have a whole nother episode about that one.
We
coming
do.
up.
Okay, I got. Well, let's change topics just a little bit.
Okay.
Speaking of faking it till you make it, you've made it a lot in a lot of different ways, and one of the things you've made it at is you've got a pretty impressive shoe collection.
Oh, that is very true.
Tell me about your love for shoes and how that came to be.
Yeah, I just, I got, like I said, the first nice pair, and then I just slowly started collecting them. Then I went through a year. It was a really good year for us, and I just kind of downloaded that sneakers app.
Yeah, dude, that thing is
It
dangerous.
was like the death of me, pretty much. Because it used to just be Louis Vuitton. I got a nice collection of those, but now it's the Nikes, getting the latest, greatest. Some of those. My latest trend is the Travis Scotts. Actually wearing a pair right
yeah,
now.
dude, those are beautiful.
Yeah, show 'em
Look
up.
at those things. My God.
But I don't know. It's just the new house is a shoe room. Super excited to show that off here.
Okay, walk us through the shoe room. What's it going to be like?
MTV Cribs.
Yeah.
Essentially, yes, but no, it's literally gonna be like at a store. It's gonna have the lights, it's gonna have everything, the main nice shoes from each one of the brands. It's gonna have its own like little centerpiece and light and everything. So, just it's my new thing. I mean,
So
I'm
what
more
ha-
laid back and chill with my outfits now, besides the shoes. So that's
Yeah, it used to be the nines like every day. Pocket
Yep.
squares, the whole
Dude, I
deal.
remember that.
it
Yeah,
was
your
great.
3-piece suits and everything. Everywhere you
Dude,
went.
100%.
24/7
Going and
at
selling
the
a
suit.
POS system for that was going to cost $114 a month. Dude pulls up in a Maserati
Yep.
and a 3-piecer.
Yeah.
exactly. Hey,
Yeah,
that
with some
was
shoes with
faking it till I
spikes on
make
them.
it, you know?
Bro, it was
So that
great.
I will find a picture like that and we'll post it up here for when we have this part going on.
Hey, there we go.
Well,
Let's do it.
I
Let's do
remember
it.
even when we were talking about, when we first started talking about Mike and I starting our own business, and when I first got a nice car, and I sent you a picture of me at the steering wheel, and like you're
Yeah.
like, bro, congratulations.
Yeah.
And the reason why I
Huge
did it
moment.
was actually, one of the reasons I did it was because you told me like this car has paid for itself over and over and over again because people want to talk like, what do you do? How did you do that? You're like, dude, it was a stretch when you first bought it, if I remember correctly.
Yep, it
And you were like,
definitely
dude, that thing was one of the best decisions I ever made was buy a nice car.
Yep, absolutely. I mean,
What an odd thing that's That
Yeah.
would be like a catalyst to everything you have now.
Too bad the IRS doesn't write that off because it's really paid for itself, and it is a good write-off in my opinion. But hey, that's a different topic. I mean,
Time to own
it's
a C
part of
corp.
the right. It's part of the just like the B money facade, I guess, right? Like people are attracted to that kind of stuff. So when you wear it, it's a great conversation starter because people notice it. Everyone's into the shoes right now. So that's another part of it. Like I get asked about the shoes 24/7, 365. So
Really?
and then it just naturally goes to, oh, what do you do? It's kind of funny actually. Carly, my assistant, was working with the junk people the other day at my house, and they're like, they saw one of the cars, and they're like, oh, what is that? Oh, you're the assistant? Wait, what? What does your boss do? What is this? What is that? Ended up recruiting him, and he's going to be coming to work for sales.
way.
For us. So, like, that's just an example of how, like, every month something like that's happening, and it, like, more than pays for itself in that way.
You show me a $70,000 check right now.
I quit my job.
And I work for you.
Quit my job right now.
Let's go.
He's like, yeah, I quit.
Essentially, it's like that kind of moment,
Dude,
So,
that was, we all seen that. That was the best.
So what happened in your childhood where shoes became your thing? Like,
Nothing.
like what? Did you just only get one pair of shoes a year?
I mean, I didn't get a lot of shoes as a kid, and I didn't really get a lot of anything. We did like maybe a trip to the beach, got to go to Disneyland once. That was like our big hoorah. But I would say the shoe thing really just ties into like that's super in right now. It's super flashy, and it's a conversation starter. And I kind of like it. It's my like little staple. It used to be the pocket square because I was always a 3-piece.
Yeah.
I was always the guy with the pocket square, and then always the guy with the
It
crazy
was at least
socks.
a custom jacket of some sort. It was always something. It was
Yeah.
like even if you were in jeans, you had a nice shirt,
Yep.
nice jacket, pocket square, good shoes all the time.
Yep, and then it's
And then
kinda
you come in here
shifted.
in a workout outfit.
Essentially,
The
yeah,
respect.
but I got the pink, I got the
But your kicks, yeah,
Yep.
the kicks cost more than the TV. It's great. I love it. That's hilarious.
Everyone's got their vices though, so it's all good.
Yeah, exactly.
Nathan's is golf.
Clothes is my my expensive thing for sure.
Yeah.
Get a nice Louis Vuitton.
Well, so you get a shoe room. What does the wife get?
The wife gets her little craft room that she loves so much. She loves to like do stuff with her hands and
Little craft.
oh, it's pretty good size.
I was gonna say just like, you're
got the
like,
corner.
there's an L desk in a corner.
It's got
Congratulations,
Hello
babe.
Hello Kitty wallpaper, all that kind of stuff. So she definitely gets.
She
to wear
is
a lot
into
of
the
things.
Hello Kitty. I remember
she
that.
is.
Yeah. Dude. Yeah. Okay. When was the last time you wanted to throw Jason through a window?
This is why you should have came on, Jason.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
He's not here to defend himself, and I think we should take advantage of that.
Let's go.
I would say sometimes I go over the top, and then when he does say no, which he never really does say no, it pisses me off because I don't like being told no.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we ended up both being right in this situation, but there was an error with the boarding team, and they sent the email off, but it was worded wrong. And I was trying to say, no, it's wrong, which it was wrong. However, I didn't articulate clearly enough why it was wrong. So he was also right on what was being meant, but it was not worded that way, so it was wrong. So we just literally went back and forth. It was stupid. And we did the whole, I'm going to sell, you buy you out, you buy me out, all that shit.
Damn, it gets to that point.
Yeah, it got to that point
shit.
this time. 20 minutes
Over
later,
some
though,
words.
Over some words. And that's really the only time we really got that far, but it was literally just some stupid shit. We were just both stressed, bad day.
Yeah.
A lot going on, and just, I think it was like 30 minutes later, well, we can't really buy each other out. We're just going to figure it out. So,
Like, I don't have that much money.
I did the math.
let's just,
I did the math, and no, thank you.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's like, hey, let's figure it out. And then Michael, who's again another great person in our office that helps do the translation, like help decipher it between it. Basically, played Dr. Phil, which is normally what Jason does a lot of times. Again, with the employee disputes, he's a great Dr. Phil. So, I mean, that's really been the biggest blowout we've had. It hasn't really gotten too bad too much. We each kind of do a great balance of when I'm doing too much, just backing off and kind of letting him do it, and
Yeah.
kind of check out a little bit, and then he'll do the same. So. We've been a good team throughout the years.
So personally and or professionally, what are you really excited about in the next couple of years?
Next couple years, I'm really excited. Personally, I'm excited to get in the new house finally. It's been a 5-year project.
You guys have been
so
building that
super
thing
excited.
forever.
Yeah, so it's just been like one thing after another, but
Yeah.
super excited for that. And then professionally, I would say just getting back to the sales side of the business and really starting to grow again. So I think 2025 is going to be another year of just kind of dialing in a few more of the processes, starting to open up the growth a little bit, and then 2026 we can really sprint it from there. So excited with that. Excited with the Blazers. Y'all be able to check out the Riverside
I'm
Courtside
so
Lounge
excited
here
about
soon.
this, dude.
So,
We'll be there.
yeah, that'll
you
be
help us
super
out.
cool.
Yeah.
I got you. We'll be going.
Okay, so I've gone to a couple Blazer
Yeah.
games with you, sat courtside. The best seats that are in the whole house. It's not even close. It's great. You can literally hear them during timeout.
Yeah,
it's
it's pretty
incredible.
incredible.
But one of the things I loved about going with you was that you knew everybody's name from the person who first meets you at the door all the way to the bench. You high-fived everybody, handshakes. Everybody knows who you are. Like, you go in there and you feel like, holy shit, like this is like, it's like you going to a Blazer game is like going with somebody like their local watering hole where they know everybody, like some
Yeah.
dive bar, but that's you at a Blazer game. Like, you know everybody, you shake their hands, high fives, hugs.
Yep.
Like people like the servers are literally giving you hugs.
Hey,
You're a beloved man, dude. It's incredible.
I mean, it's just about
It's
being
so cool.
nice. And I mean, I come from nothing. So from the janitor, security, the server, it's just taking care of people. and
Dude, I respect that so much about you, dude. I really
Yeah,
appreciate
thanks.
that about
Appreciate
you. It's
that.
something that it really inspires me and convicts me to be such a better human when I'm out with you in those situations. 'Cause I'm like, bro, this has got to be one of the secrets to this guy's success is that he just is love. He finds a way. You find a way to just be loved by anybody, but you don't do it for that purpose. But that's the result. That's what actually happens. You do it because it seems like you genuinely are like, you like talking to people.
Yeah, the fact that you moved a haircut for us is already amazing.
yeah, I did. I did move the haircut around, and I did come out of podcast retirement just for you guys.
Yeah, that is
That means
true.
a ton.
Well, I'm excited about it, dude. What else do we need to know about you? What else do you know about your business? What would be helpful? Like, if you're an entrepreneur listening, what would you like to tell them?
I would just say, no matter where you come from, find your own little niche that you're good at and just go all in at it, or find something you love to do. Like for me, I ended up loving sales. So I just kind of merchant services and credit card processing as a byproduct or a vehicle to get me to where I want to go. It's never something that I thought I wanted to do. So like my son, I tell him all the time, he loves skateboarding. Find something in skateboarding where you can be a top salesperson at the brand that you love working for, or work your way into that, or do your own line, do your own brand, like find a way to navigate to that. So for an upcoming entrepreneur, just find your niche, develop a system with it, and then you can turn it into a business, and then you can scale it. So that would be the biggest thing, and it's not easy. I mean, Riverside's 10 years, but it was 7 years before that and 3 years before that. So it's really a
Right.
20-year journey to get where I'm at. So I think that's the biggest thing is people think, especially today's age with how, instant gratification, it doesn't take a year. You got to go all in on something for 10, 15, 20 years to really get that payday. Like these athletes, they might be 18, 20, but they started when they were 3. You know what I mean? Like, it's a journey and there's a lot of ups and downs. You just can't quit, and just 1% better every day.
We say oftentimes that people overestimate what they can do in 1 year and underestimate what they can do in 5.
Yep. That's true.
Yeah.
Time matters.
True. It
Time
does.
matters. Very good. Mike, anything else?
No, I mean, I'm excited to have you back on here. It's good to see you again.
Yeah.
It's nice to see
Likewise.
the other side of you a little bit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, great to be on the podcast. Great seeing you guys as always.
Yeah,
too.
dude, it's been
Look forward to
awesome.
going to a Blazers game. We haven't been yet. We got to get one.
Yeah, let's do it.
You'd love it. It's so cool.
Yeah, I'm down. I don't know any of the players, but let's make it happen.
Hey, let's do it.
I'll do hockey anytime. It's a lot cheaper. Too,
Hey,
so
there we go.
Very good on that.
Awesome. Well, Brandon, thank you very much for coming today. And we're so glad that everybody got to know a little bit more about
The other side.
Love it. Thanks, guys. Get it.
So stupid, dude.